Yo, 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 welcome to Hunty's World of Pain on tour. 4 up today. This is a 4 up video. Weird day yesterday. So I hit my highest ever blitz rating over 1560, yeah? Then I decided that I was king of the world and invincible and proceeded to lose about 12 games in a row and dropped down to just under 1500. And then this morning again, bing! I found my mojo, man. Yeah. Okay, so 4 quick games while you're having your breakfast. What are you having for breakfast today? Well, I'm having my wife's homemade sausages. Wonderful. Okie dokie. Right, first up, Mr. Rambo 77, rated 1454. And we have the Charlick, of course. Well, the England Gambit accepted, Charlick Gambit accepted, Bishop takes, all right? Knight comes out, knight comes out. Pawn comes out, pin the knight, right? The computer doesn't like it, but sod the computer is what I say. Now, this is an annoying move because, you know, if you put your queen here in castle, you can get a really compromised king. Very bad pawn structure sometimes. Or what do? Do you short castle and then try and, you know, sneak your rook manually there, which is a little bit more obvious than long castles and your rook just happens to land on d8. Anyway, so queen e7. Anyway, knight comes out, knight comes out. You kind of want to stop this knight. And now, they pin the knight on the queen. Okay. And take a snapshot, because this is quite an instructive position. Okay. I castle, and oh no, in comes the knight. Now, knight hits queen. This knight can't take that knight because it's pinned by the bishop, so what do? Well, you stop. You don't panic, right? Remember where your towel is. Okay, what was this knight doing? Well, it happened to be the only defender of this pawn, and oh dear, it's all going to go Pete Tong. Okay, check. Bishop blocks, I take knight, thank you very much. Okay, they castle. My other knight now comes in. Bishop moves. And what would you play in this position? Pause if you need to. So the move I found was knight takes knight, check. You can't take my queen. When you're in check, you've got to get out of check. What you going to do? Hey, what you going to do? Pawn takes. I think queen takes might still be better, but hey, pawn takes, I take with queen. White doesn't want to trade because he's down 4 materials. And now I hit the queen. They take bishop, I take back with knight, and it's unstoppable mate. 15 moves, thank you very much. Let's spin it, and on to move 2. Denny Weinrungan, rated 1356. Okay, and let's see what we get. We've got the black pieces again. This is an e4, e5 game. Okay, the Italian. So we go to the Russo, and we have d3. Now, what do we do, boys and girls, when we get d3 in the Russo? We go for the Lucchini, and this is almost a textbook Lucchini gambit. This is what you're looking for. And he does it. In with the knight, targeting f7, right? Fried liver style. And what we do is we shut the door with the f-pawn, inviting the knight in. Knight comes in. Actually, I think probably bishop f7 is a better move, forcing the king to move. But now queen h4. And this time I kind of get it right. Castles. Now this is bad. This is bad for white. Now the move I play here is, I remembered knight h6. The computer says, no. You need to play knight f6. Okay. The point is here, white could, if he's being sensible, could actually trade knights. Yeah. And live to fight another day. Most, excuse me, most players won't do that. Most players will take the rook anyway, as he did here. But yeah, the computer's right. Knight f6, while this knight is still there, is a better move. Because it's coming to this square anyway. It don't really matter. Okay, he takes. Knight comes in. Okay, and now we're threatening mate on here. But the other point is, uno, dos, y tres. 3 attackers on f2, only 2 defenders, right? So, white is already in a serious amount of pickle. Okay, h3 kind of makes sense. And then I think the correct move is knight takes here. So rather than going straight in with the check and being all like bullish, we hit the queen, but we're also threatening now to move the knight. And if we take on h3, Hello, that's a double check. Bingo, right? So, rook takes, queen takes, check. And after king h1, the move I find is pawn to f3. So I'm simply threatening immediate checkmate on there. Now, if pawn takes, I think pawn takes is probably the best move here. I'm not sure. Let's put lines on. Yeah, pawn takes and then d5 is the move. Opponent doesn't do that. Opponent takes with the queen, and this is not very good because that's checkmate. Bingo. Okay, game number 3, please. And here, I'll switch eval and lines off now. Opponent is rating 1500. Okay, so anyone who's sitting at home thinking, you know, I'm below this level, but my opponents are never, you know, complete dumbasses, watch this. The Vienna Gambit, declined, but a bad way. This is one of the worst ways to decline the Vienna Gambit because we get into the Halloween line. Okay, quite appropriate for a Friday the 13th. Pawn takes hitting the knight, and the knight cannot take. I just said you can't take. You silly, silly horse, okay? Now, pawn to d4 now hits this knight. And the normal moves here are knight to here or knight to here. In either case, you can almost pre-move pawn to e5. In this case, I did not pre-move pawn to e5, and I'm quite glad I didn't, because my opponent put his knight there, lost it, and resigned. Okay, and that's what can happen in the glorious Vienna. All right, last up. Slightly longer game, so strap in. Our Bears is 1557 from the United States. These are all 5-minute blitzes. Okay, and we have a Siciliano. Okay, so I'm going Grand Prix and knight out, and now I decide to come straight out and attack the knight. Now, normally you want this pawn to move so that you're guaranteed to trade. The best move here is probably knight to d4, but pushes, and now I trade off, happy days. And now I can play d3, complete my light squared pawn chain in the middle there, and think about going for the throat. Okay, pawn to d5. Now, interestingly, because I was kind of getting ready for an over-the-board chess match that I thought was last night, but isn't, it's actually next week, I did a little bit of research on the Grand Prix, and I watched a video about hanging pawns. Really, really good. Really, really good for theory, hanging pawns. Good, strong IM. And one thing I remembered from that is, don't worry about this, right? Do not prematurely push e5. Yes, you might make life difficult for the knight, but you want to play this move at some point and sometimes trade off. So you want to keep your pawn there. So I held my nerve, and I also remember him saying, black doesn't want to take here, right? He's going to end up with doubled isolated pawns there. This is a bluff from black. He's not going to capture there, right? I can recapture with the knight, and white's, you know, better. That's the way you got to think. So knight f3, knight e7 castles, and now knight to g6, and queen e1. Note at this point, yeah, the idea of queen e1 in the Grand Prix is to bring the queen up to one of these squares, but also the queen is also in line with the king. Oh, it's looking all kind of all right here. Now, pause. What would you play in this situation? Okay, consider, bear in mind, this, it's not a pin, but it could be if you play f5, and now this is really uncomfortable because the knight's under attack. If the pawn takes there, you know, we're really threatening to open things up. We've got major pieces on f and e, and this is not good, Precious. So, knight comes in, and now I push on. This is a really nice move. So the bishop's attacking the knight. I am blocking the defender of the knight with a defended pawn. So what's going to happen? He's going to have to lose material. Probably the best move, knight h3 check, I take. Bishop retreats, I push on. Freddy is going for the throat, right? Killer Queen Freddy. Okay, pawn takes, bishop takes. Knight to e5, kind of offering up the knight. He doesn't want to take. Queen f2, and this is just curtains time now for our bears. Right? If bishop takes, it's mate. Okay? Bishop doesn't take. I'm threatening to take here. How can he defend that that bishop again? He can't. King can't be the first recapturer. So it's just horrible. Rook there. Giving check. I block. And he gives away mate. So there you go. Just 4 little teasers, 4 little tasters. Feeling the mojo running through my veins, man. Nice. Yeah, really good one there. Nice little morning of 5-minute blitz. Enjoying it, and I'll see you guys later for a rapid game. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.